上去to overcome such a reverse issue the company can see the payment from government or the insurance company. And there are some positions they might have pinpointed. They might consider some of the device or system not helpful enough. Sometimes the payer, the user say, maybe I can ask user why myself, I can myself, I don't need the system anymore. The become a big problem. So for example, the peer service approach. When it's on the market, they consider the income in the United States, or research or investment. And kind of system, especially for substance abuse. Usually for substance abuse subject, they are highly motivated, but they can actually enable some of the similar approach for functions, or behavior change. So it was considered as the income in the state of achieve multi-million-dollar investment so easy at the time 49 million or 4.9 million US dollars in risk. However, the then law kind of so just right after the call. And so the sale of all the branch of company. So some of this, the community behavior, the insomnia, and also schizophrenia and multiple situation, and other, also sale, migraine behavior, resale. The reason for the bankrupt of this was considered income, the bankrupt, the insurance company rapidly change course. So there's a problem. So you can see here, iHumEn states the first way of teachers to read. Now we are in the second way. So you should learn from their failure. So it's something we are doing now. What are the major reasons for their failure? My first point is that usually there are three things, and most of them are software-oriented approach only. So sometimes the subject can learn or can control anxiety after training, for example, for exercise. After a while, I can control, I can do my exercise. For speed, maybe after a while, I can change my, I can reduce my obesity from my nutrition or my diet. But I don't need this hardware again, this software again. So and usually they charge very much, charge very high. So I think this is one of the major reasons this kind of system failed. So as a meeting, we should learn from first grade, and now and we don't pay. So we can learn from it and research our own system for second grade. Pretty much like AI. When I was a PhD in the first grade of AI, when I graduated, no one talking about AI, and the second grade of AI. When I in the second grade, I think usually get a better university. So now it's a simple PBS Asia and Taiwan. So this is the first administration in Japan. For example, the three system, for smoking and safety, control smoke, hypertension, alcohol, association, and also they are doing very well. And doing well. The PBS kind of start in Japan. And Korea had this recently, all less than 10 years, about 10 years, and for example, understand that all the technologies are too difficult or too complicated. But one thing important is that they can get approval when we try, for example, so VR system, the device system that can train for the video detail, and also can inspect the time of several functions on set, and so on. So this also more than 3 years. Okay, the first system so because sick. Okay, I think there's a big system for diabetes. Okay, the strong part of this company is that they can incorporate all different kinds of glucose monitoring system or feeding system or CGM, continuous glucose monitoring system to their system. Okay, so they can the integration of kind of safety device. Okay, and I think this state of is one, and then the book promotion. Okay, so they can cover. They are very popular right now in Germany and also they are going to get into the Korea soon. Okay, probably also in Taiwan. Okay, and the important thing for this company, diabetes is always the middle field for the DTX. Okay, and they can provide such as information related to the glucose A1C, HbA1c. Okay, so there's clinical evidence to say after a quarter, then after 3 months, the HbA1c can reduce from the high level to close to the normal level. Okay, and then they have also very good cooperation with the company. So we see here is that for this company, they have a good they give a holistic view, from CGM, and also from the drug company, for CGM, so of system, and for feed, for exercise, they can incorporate all the system into their management system. Okay, so they do not develop CGM by themselves, but they incorporate all the sensors from other companies. I think this is a good way and a good example, for the survival company this company have incorporated all the hardware into the system. So that's a huge story. I think that's important for this company can survive right now. And they are also important to keep a progress disease for diabetes. Okay, for example, early stage of the diabetes, they might suggest use CGM and try to control your level, glucose level. Okay, and when during diagnosis, you control your nutrition, control your exercise during this period of time. And also at the same time, you're taking oral medication. They control the compliance and with the drug company. I think that's a good strategy to cooperate with all different kinds of hardware company and then kind of solve a system that they can cooperate in the diabetes system. And in addition to that, in addition to diabetes, they are targeting the cardiovascular system and also the kidney system. Connecting disease in the next step. I think they are doing very well right now, and they're investing on the medicine. Another example in Taiwan is so-called digital system. Not too difficult for you. There's an system with the video system, and they can use they can monitor the video, and then do exercise. And I think that after a couple of years, the system can enter major nursing home and hospital in Taiwan, and they are only to Japan. I think that good cooperation with Japan. This is for the elderly reforms in Japan. And the mass game system. So the risk for so this will be in Taiwan. Here's some application of the formal training for ETS. As you can see here, from 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, this system are developing now. So USA and more of companies ETS. Germany is very aggressive. They have a so-called DIGA system. This is Austria. They dedicate for the system. So they provide guidance and also you can between 2019, so less than 5 years. But right now there are several systems have been integrated into the ETS, and some of them are also different because they are really clinical trial. Okay, under the FICA system. Okay, this is very critical now. This kind of system I will. Okay, for you guys very active right now. Okay, you can see just last year they have all the system available, and they have also the reimbursement system right now. Okay, so I think, okay, even though they start earlier, but they are related conservative, okay, because they might have this sort of reimbursement system with IIB. And we also emerging DTS player. Okay, the DTS with DTS we consider the combination of ICT technology and healthcare system. Okay, and Taiwan is strong in the ICT. Okay, applications key machinery such as TSMC. Okay, now one of the top 10 companies in the world. Okay, first in the semiconductor industry. Okay, Taiwan is important. The nation kills machines training. 99% more than 10% season our nation is training. Okay, and this is for simple wire. Okay, so when the national health insurance they decided to do it, work out for the entire country. Okay, and then you can understand that the nation's health insurance ranking Taiwan is ranked number one before for more than 6 years. So actually, the health insurance in Taiwan, they are all fundamentally center. One important thing is that they are tapping the smart hospital. Recently, in the past 5 years, okay, how many Taiwanese medical centers have been trained in the smart hospital day by day. So they are wishing to be this as a smart hospital in the world, and they are all people prepared for anything. So I think have a great reason that okay, Taiwan is trying very hard to speed. Okay, the next to the system understand is the government support. Okay, the government support medtech. Okay, and okay, the infrastructure regulated environment is so Taiwan will Taiwan FDA. They claim the software needed practice okay for the local development and okay. Conclusion good. Next year, okay, there will a whole course of medium science. They will counsel on only EDX in the system and for the commercialization. Okay, and I think that more time there will be $5 million. Okay, for 5 years. Actually, the course will be down. And okay, so that is the opportunity for you and research to get cooperation and for this one. We hope for 5 years. stimulated, you'll feel dizzy. Okay, facilitation, you will get excited. Okay, and another approach, we are using this approach that developed by my student. Okay, this is so-called TBS, intermittent theta burst stimulation. Okay, they have a similar effect. Okay, they can simulate the low high frequency, but okay, with short period stimulation, but last longer. Okay, so we are using the theta burst stimulation for our application. And actually, I'm only a researcher in the university. I've done the research for animal. Okay, for only magnetic stimulation, current stimulation. I even go for the optogenetic stimulation and for all different kinds of animal, design all different kinds of animal behavior, statistic measurement, gait analysis, and so on and so forth. Okay, so same as you, I'm a university researcher. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, it's okay. So okay, don't worry about this one. Okay, so you can see the local behavior stay in the parking rate, and then we also can observe. Okay, so we are working on the theta burst simulation. Okay, for the neuroplasticity of the rate. Okay, so we can see here what we say the enhancement of the motor neuron instability that's been getting excited, and there's a control and there's a separation. So we can enhance or suppress the motor instability or the rate. Okay, so actually I study more on the animal study. Okay, when I work in for my research career. Okay, but I changed my mindset. Okay, I work for government about 10 years ago. Okay, and as for start incubation and also commercialization, I serve as CTO for the so-called SI2C Super Integration Center, Integration Incubation Center in Taiwan. So we did the Stanford several times, and also we consider that Taiwan is the same size of Silicon Valley, but we have Science Park, we have so many universities over there, so we are exchanging the same idea with the Silicon Valley. Okay, and so my second idea change is that, okay, you need to design a system from hospital, that's from the clinical down or bench to the clinical, and now you need to go from the clinical hospital to the home hospital. That means, okay, for the home care system. Now your design should be changed. Okay, and so, okay, I skip this one. Okay. So my idea is that, okay, the first idea we have done so far is, okay, so we need, compared to the so-called magnetic stimulation that can be done in the hospital, so we want to design a system, okay, and that can be used, have a similar effect like magnetic stimulation, but they can be used at home. Okay, so that's the first idea we are trying to develop. Okay, as you can see here, okay, so we design so-called high-density stimulation, okay, for the brain, and okay, with a hardware system we develop. Okay, so you can see here, so then with the hardware system we can provide all different kinds of stimulation. Okay, there's a high-density stimulation. Okay, and now the system has been developed as a wireless system. Okay, so this system can provide a stimulation to the subject. And we have been evaluating this system for the rehabilitation in the chronic stroke. And what I see is there's a chronic stroke. For the early stage of stroke, your cell recovery function. But for the chronic stage, okay, you can give us brain stimulation and can have a better recovery, and there will be a good approach. So you can see here, for the subacute, usually you can have a cell recovery. However, in the chronic stage, okay, like without therapy, maintain a low level, with conventional therapy get higher. Okay, with some, for example, robotics, they can go up. Okay, my point of view is that you can provide brain stimulation plus rehabilitation technique. You can back to the functional normal. So hopefully that's the main idea for the stroke patient. So that's compared to the conventional rehabilitation, I think we have some advantage over this point. And there's a devices we have demonstrated. Okay, so we want to stimulate the site. Okay, and we have going through all the experience study, and we have, but at this age, in this stage, we have just all the testing, clinical testing, and for our brain stimulation, and it worked out fine, but not as good as what we expected. Okay, so right now this clinical trial is still working at the National Chengkong, and so National Chengkong University as well as Taiwan University Hospital. Okay, so we finished the first round of data, okay, published, and now we are going to the second round of data. Okay, trust me, painful experience, very difficult. Okay, but because the clinical stage, usually the function improvement will not get up too much. So, but okay, we can see something, but not reach to the level we are expected. So now we are changing the protocol and doing further investigation on this field. Okay, and so there are some problems here, commercialization regulation, because this device has not been get approval for FDA. It could be the normal device. There's a new devices in the world. Okay, usually in hospital, there's a short training period of time, but high cost for intervention. So maybe we try to push this system to become a home care system. Okay, so and under this condition, we can increase the sample size. Okay, and also not only to observe the immediate effect, we also can have the long-term effect. And also, we wish to have a neurological clinical monitoring system, okay, for the stimulation. Okay, so maybe that's something we are considering right now. So we are moving to the next one, but we have to change the topic. Okay, change to the anxiety. Now we form a new team, and but we are targeting another topic is so anxiety. The reason is that the population. Okay, the anxiety disorder, okay, there are large population in the world. Okay, the most important one is that, okay, in the United States, okay, FDA approve depression, and also the anxiety that belong to this field. So this have been get approval by the FDA. So for the clinical trial, for the real issue, okay, the obstacle could be lower compared to the stroke. Okay, stroke we might have might be PMA or the normal system, difficult to maybe take more years to get approval by the FDA. So the reason why we changed our target to the anxiety. Okay, hopefully the anxiety, the fighting K, but this anxiety approach is so-called single electrode stimulation. Okay, for the brain, cortical stimulation, but the single electrode. RTMS have been approval. Okay, for the depression. So look like for the depression or anxiety, they can get approval quicker. Okay, or they can get potential approval from the FDA. So all this comes from the commercialization point of view. Okay, so we are targeting the high density brain, high density stimulation. Okay, and hopefully you can get approval soon. Okay, so there's a reason why we changed the device. In addition to that, we also develop not only the stimulation part. Okay, we also develop functional needs evaluation. This is what we have done before. Okay, our student, we have done this one in the clinical setup to monitor the brain during the cycling device, and we can monitor the brain mapping of the subject. But this device is not possible to be used at home. Okay, so we are developing our own near system. Hopefully, this system can be incorporated to the home care system. Okay, so that's the idea. Okay, for our current project. So all devices are available, but require get approval from. Right now, it's approval for the IRB. Okay, hopefully we can get more multiple center clinical trial for this one. Okay, so our approach is that not only for the estimation, now we are doing the evaluation from the needs, from the brain information. So that's something we are doing right now. Okay, so there's a scenario. Okay, we combine the near system with the headset system. Okay, put them together. Okay, I think, but we last year received Innovation Award. But okay, all the systems are developing right now. Okay, so we are also design some kind of DCBT. Okay, for anxiety. Okay, hopefully this system can be incorporated with the high density brain stimulation as a near system together, and as a software plus hardware system, and not only a brain stimulation plus evaluation system with the near system. So there are a system we are developing right now. So okay, for you are interested in this kind of cooperation, welcome to come to us. Okay, and in addition to that, there's a small branch of project, but I personally consider there's a great potential. It's for speech problem. So for the Parkinson's disease, but it's a dystonia problem. Okay, and okay, so that's they cannot pronounce very well because of the muscle function. Okay, and we have done. My colleague have working on this one with function MRI evaluation. Look at has some potential application, and our approach is that. Oh, okay, sorry. The training. Okay, hold it. Okay, don't worry about this one. Okay, and currently we are so the Sasha approach again with brain stimulation, with electrical stimulation, and brain monitoring system with a speech problem. Okay, personally I consider this a new area to explore. Okay, so you can see the area we are exploring right now is quite different from the first wave. Okay, and we incorporate brain stimulation and also a brain monitoring system to our system. I think it's a new branch approach. We can see second wave. Hopefully, the second wave, okay, can be succeeds. That's the second wave of AI. Okay, and so it's another topic is aphasia. Okay, that means for the short patient they cannot speak, and mostly because the cognitive function change in the stroke patient because of the brain damage, they cannot speak well. Okay, they become a communication problem, and they can be we isolated from the population. If they can have a good way of speech or way of communication, okay, maybe. Okay, that's something we are targeting right now. Okay, so here the last slide, summarization. Okay, digital services, I think there's a evidence-based, important. You have clinical evidence. Okay, this is software-driven. Okay, but we consider, we always say plus technology, okay, plus hardware, plus a new drug. Okay, and so for the therapeutic purpose, and also you can consider the management system of disease is also a good target of digital therapeutics. Okay, and so you require such, you can combine with the drug, with the CBT, behavior or rehabilitation together, and combine together and change the behavior as well as healthcare system. And also especially for the aging population, okay, DTS will become more and more important in recent years. And we can see the DTS as a patient-central ecosystem. Okay, not only technology, not only healthcare. Okay, you also conclude willingness of the payer, regulatory issue, reimbursement issue, adoption of the government. Okay, and these are all, put all this together, we consider it's a ecosystem. So you cannot say, okay, DTS is just a technology development. No, beyond that, you should consider the ecosystem, you consider reimbursement, you consider the business model. Okay, my personal point is that the innovation wide open area is for, especially for the visual DTX. Okay, so I think the Taiwan government is supporting very well for the DTS related topic in the next couple of years. So welcome for cooperation. And last word is, okay, Malaysia is an excellent doorway for DTS technology to enter the Southeast Asia. Hopefully, going through today's exchange idea, okay, sometime we have some good cooperation with Taiwan and Malaysia in this research field. Okay, so this is my last slide. Thank you very much for listening.
Some of speech training for the aphasia. So for the person, like if they suffer from the disease, some of brain has been like damaged, like neuron, the neuron cells has destroyed. So for that kind of case, could they use the DTX to do some rehabilitation to retrain their brain function?
Brain stimulation. My research was brain stimulation from the animal study. My finding was that, okay, brain stimulation, they can facilitate the motor excitability. This means they can excite the special part of brain to enhance the motor excitability. Okay, so that in other ways that they can activate this part of brain. Okay, also they can inhibit it. Okay, so you can either to facilitate or inhibit it depending on what you want. So you can a good design from the science, and then you can apply all this to the human subject. And I think from a personal point of view is that okay, they can that's a good way for training, for learning. Okay, and so you can incorporate this kind of brain stimulation with traditional rehabilitation, and then you come show a great output. Okay, that's my expectation.
I see. So actually, like a famous actor, Bruce Willis, he is suffering from aphasia, like a speechless, because the dementia. And for the dementia patients, usually their brain shrink. So that means that some of neurons has lose some normal function. So
the reason we are targeting aphasia is that there's no drug. Okay, no drug for aphasia at this moment. So you are targeting the syndrome that the drug cannot achieve. Okay, the only way you can do is retrain the subject, and one possibility to re-educate the brain. The brain has a plasticity. The brain can change during your stimulation, and that's the way. Okay, so during the training, during the stimulation, hopefully the disease subject can recover their function. Okay, like a baby, they are learning a new thing. Okay, even though they are after the brain has been damaged. Okay, they learn the new thing. Okay, and all this because the brain new generation is no longer available right now. So require external stimulation to facilitate the brain and to relearn the new stuff. That's what we call neuroplasticity in the brain. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So do you have any questions? We still have several time to take some
we are
questions.
going to a new project next year. Okay, hopefully the Malaysian researcher can come to Taiwan. Okay, we'll $5 million per year. Okay, hopefully for 5 years. So maybe the government can support about 20 teams. Okay, so each team will receive about $1 million for 5 years, and for commercialization of the system. So usually the government right now are targeting not only research only. Research publication is necessary, but in addition to that, commercialization, clinical trial, and go through the market, they are more important than the publication right now. The mindset thinking in Taiwan. Okay, Taiwan is a small island. Malaysia is a big country. Okay, so remote area. Okay, all these are quite useful. You can implement the DTS. Okay, for remote sensing, monitoring, or treatment. I think that's a good research field for Malaysia to go into. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, so please.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Chen, for the very interesting and informative presentation keynote for today. I have 2 questions, basically. I mean, there's a lot of projects that you have shown. First question is related to AR and VR project that you have done, and maybe is it still ongoing, or what is the status on that? Okay. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, regarding the commercialization, how is the support by the Taiwan government to go from the research product until to the commercialization? And maybe you can share the challenge and how to implement it, especially to Malaysia. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, baby. The important thing is that because I was a CTO for the incubation center supported by government. Okay, we established a good system for them. Okay, I'll give you one example. Is that usually for our PhD student, we say, okay, go for the commercialization, and I will help you to get a grant. Okay, I might get a grant about $500,000 for my student to work for his PhD and also try to build up a star company. But usually they fail. But the government don't care. Okay, give you the money and go for it, and wish you can succeed. If you fail, no problem. Come next time. Okay, so usually they can receive somewhere around $500,000 for 3 or 4 years, and for commercialization purpose. The idea is that we had training. We went to the Stanford where biodesign system in Taiwan. And so all the students, not only for academic training, they have idea about patent, commercialization, regulatory issue, business model, and clinical trial. You can for medical device, not only technology is about 20% of the whole commercialization process. The others are more important compared to technology. Technology is just a small part of it. And then another important thing is that the good cooperation with the physician and get amenity from the physician. And those are development cycle for medical devices. And most of the Taiwanese students have this same concept because our promotion in Taiwan. So, and also they consider the stock company is an important one. But as you can understand, 80% of the company fail. It's always in this way. So you can see this one. Later you can come to me with the AR system. When it's a system here, immediately you see a video. Immediately detect the pain. Detect the pain immediately. And develop in 1 year and get approval from
I have my student working on similar both with the hygiene as well as future.
give it time.
Yeah, maybe this can try.
Okay, also we have a training system for students who have a system name of the edge computing system. And so they are working very well. So that's a good training. So also welcome you from Taiwan for summer.
Yeah. So let me just take the last question. Yeah.
I'm very interested with the neural stimulation, but a bit worried at the same time about how much electricity is going into the body. Maybe you can share with us like how much voltage is going for the brain and then the hand and then for the speech. I suppose there should be different.
That's a safety issue over there. Okay, so usually the less than 2 milliamp. Okay, and in certain areas, so you consider the current density of the brain. Okay, so that's a regulatory issue. So usually it's quite difficult to pass your system. So we need to go through all the safety issue to check the safety issue and get approval from the TFDA in Taiwan, and then so you can go for the clinical trial. Okay, so that we need to take care of that. That's a regulatory format, safety format. Okay, having approved by the FDA, so you have to follow the format. Okay, no problem about it.
Okay. Thank you for all of your attention. Right now, I'm gonna close this section, and thank you for Professor Jia-Jun Chen.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed with the keynote for session, let's take a 30 minutes morning break. So enjoy your break. Thank you and see you later at 10:30 a.m. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the iHumEn Tech 2024. We will now continue our event with the keynote 4 session. Now, I would like to pass the control of the session to Associate Professor, Engineer Technologist, Dr. Eileen Lee Ming Soo, to moderate the session. Dear Dr. Eileen, the floor is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, it is my distinct honor to introduce today's keynote speaker, a visionary leader whose contributions have shaped the future of robotics in Malaysia. With a remarkable track record of innovation and leadership, Professor Engineer Technologist Dr. Ahmad Atif Muhammad Fauzi has consistently pushed boundaries, transforming ideas into impactful solutions. Professor IRTS Dr. Ahmad Atif Muhammad Fauzi is a distinguished researcher and engineer specializing in robotics, mechatronics, and system integration. He holds a Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Engineering and a Master of Engineering in Mechatronics and Automatic Control, both from University Technology Malaysia, as well as a Doctorate of Engineering in System Integration from Yokohama University, Japan. Prof. Ahmad Atif is a professional engineer with a practicing certificate, a chartered engineer, and a member of IEEE Robotics and Automation Society Malaysia and Persatuan Saintis Muslim Malaysia, Perintis. From 2019 to 2023, he served as the director of the Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics at University Technology Malaysia. His significant contributions to the field of robotics were recognized with the Top Research Scientist Malaysia Award in 2020. Prof. Ahmad Atif's research primarily focused on field robotics and bio-inspired robotics, where he has developed numerous tele-operated mobile robots and soft mechanism actuators. In 2022, he founded A2Tech Solution, A2Tech Sendirian Berhad, a spin-off company dedicated to tele-operation robotic solutions, bridging the gap between research and commercialization. Prof. Ahmad Atif continues to drive innovation in robotics, making a substantial impact on both academic research and practical applications. Today, Prof. Ahmad Atif will share insights on the rise of robotics and artificial intelligence in healthcare, which promise to inspire and empower us all. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Professor IRTS Dr. Ahmad Atif Muhammad Fauzi, our esteemed keynote speaker for today. Prof, the floor is yours.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim. Okay, thank you very much, Associate Professor Dr. Eileen, for your very nice welcoming remark and introduction. Professor Shariza Suna, Professor Yazid, and all the attendees for this session today. I would like to welcome you for the keynote 4 session with the title of The Rise of Robotics and AI in Healthcare. And my name is Ahmad Atif Muhammad Fauzi from Center for AI and Robotics, Cairo UTM, not Cairo, Egypt, and also from A2Tech Sendirian Berhad. Okay, so a little bit about Cairo. It was founded in 1997, so now roughly more than 27 years old of center, and we have 10 members. I'm previously the 4th director, and now we have our 5th director, Associate Professor Dr. Ibrahim Shafi'i, to lead the center. So I would like to start. Allow me to move around. So I would like to start with some of the introduction about where we are in the world robotics. So if we look at the robot global benchmarking, we are number 14th, okay, as an one of the emerging countries. And these are based on the analytics done by ASM during our National Robotic Roadmap initiative. And one of the way they decide on the numbers of the ranking is based on the unit per 10,000 of employees in an industry. So there are a lot of things that we need to catch up, and also to see how robots and AI can be helpful, especially in our today conference theme on iHuman Tech. Okay, and if we look at the new jobs that will be created, also will be changing from the previous traditional methods, which have continuous task done by human, and this can be improved by having a better methods of automation from technology. So if we look here, around 3.3 to 6 million new jobs will be created. 10 years back, we haven't heard of TikTok before. Anyone of you heard of TikTok? Until now, I don't have any TikTok account, but then we see that nowadays TikTok, and we have Instagram. These are all new areas which is not available back then, but now people have been using this not only for social media, but also doing some business activities. And aging and healthcare is one of the area that will be having more new jobs created. So I came back from Okayama, Japan back in 2010, started off with A2 Lab from actuator and automation area of mine, where I did bio-inspired robotics. We look on different kind of muscles, ligaments of human. And in field robotics, it is a little bit separated, but then partly we see how other kind of actuators can be used, and automation can come in. So I would like to share first. Sorry. Okay. Okay. One of the hand that we try to mimic and imitate. So we have McKibben actuator. Okay. McKibben actuator. I bring it a sample here today. Mungkin Dr. Yazid can pass around. So this is an actuator that mimics our muscles, and we have different kind of diameter. And how to actuate the muscle, we have to supply with air supply with pneumatic source. So it can be as small as 1.3 millimeter in size until 4 millimeter diameter. And we use the small size for the intrinsic muscles. So for those who study on human ergonomics, muscles, ligaments. So for all fingers that we have two types of muscles, intrinsic and also extrinsic muscle. So the bigger muscles that we have, normally we use it to carry bigger loads. But then the intrinsic muscle is more on the delicate motion, how we hold our pen, or how we turn the doorknob. So these are all based on intrinsic muscles. So my job last time was to study in detail from the bone to the ligament to the muscle, even from the which muscles will be actuated to form different kind of human gestures. And what happens if we cut one of the muscle? So there are many uncertainties that can happen. Okay, and we also did another study of human neck. Okay, okay. Lama. Yeah, tekan. Sorry, yeah. Okay, so we did the same study using the McKibben muscle, but the numbers of muscles are bigger. Oh, dia tak, I think dia tak main. It's okay. I will share you the YouTube link later. Sorry for the technical. Okay, what we have here in the video showing how the human neck. Okay, and notice that normally if we are get used to the gadget, so you will tend to have a very high pain on your neck because of the muscle strain. So we study different kind of muscle that hold our head. So the importance of how the pressure balance between each of the muscles to make sure that we are having a sturdy and good position of our head. Even when we are sitting, working with our computers, we have to put and sit in a correct posture. If not, the load of the muscles will be higher. That's why you tend to have headache and so on. Okay, so we do this kind of study. So in 2022, I started to spin off a company called A2Tech, where I focus more on the other side of the research that I did. So on the field robotics. So we developed robots. Some of the robots applied in hospital ducts. I will explain some of it later. And we do a lot of inspections, surveillance, and so on. Okay, and this happened because of different kind of data is available. I think this is also a movie here. Boleh tolong klik kan? And we have seen that the normal way of doing conventional inspection is by using very long probes, and sometimes you have difficulties to navigate around. So now we have robots that can move around and do some different kind of movement and motion. Even we can integrate with artificial intelligence to do inspection and detection. Ada. Okay. Okay, so the LiDAR function here will be having the same function like a bat. Okay, so where it will give the echo signals and then receive the signals 360. So that's why we call this as a 360 LiDAR. And normally for 360 LiDAR will be differentiated between 2D kinds of LiDAR and also 3D LiDAR. So the higher the bit rate of the LiDAR, then you will have more complex point cloud to imitate the surrounding area. And we can use this especially in doing autonomous movement. For example, if you have autonomous car, mungkin Dr. J, see. So not only using LiDAR, but also using cameras. And cameras can also do predictions and autonomous movement based on the classified objects. So from here, we develop different kind of teleoperation robots. Currently, we're working on a structure inspection, as I told you, to do inspection, ground inspection, underwater inspection. And now we have surveillance and rescue. The extricator R is for rescue, and S is for surveillance. And we do the surveillance and rescue with wireless. I mean, the first structure inspection will be having wired attached, but the second one and the third one will be wireless, and the third area is on in palm oil mechanization. So our goal is to see how the local workforce can be improved, or maybe, for example, OKU people, where they can just use their joystick from the command center and to operate some of the robots available, especially a robot that will be on field with the 3D jobs, the T demeaning and also dangerous. Okay, now we come back to the topic of healthcare, where robotics is currently served. So the first area is in surgical robots. How many of you here know Da Vinci robot? Have you heard of Da Vinci before? The artist Da Vinci? This is a Da Vinci, but it is a robot. And one of the popular robots that we have to do operations. And if I'm not mistaken, you have more than 7 different actuators. I think I didn't put it here, but then you can Google it around. Da Vinci robot medical one. So currently we have 5 in Malaysia. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, 5 in Malaysia, 1 in UTM, 1 in Kuching, and the other one in maybe in Pahang. I've met one of the operator of Da Vinci. So the pre-operation and post-operation is very important to make sure it is very calibrated to make and precise for them to conduct the operations. And one of the important of having Da Vinci, for example, is for smaller incision where you have a minimal invasive surgery. You don't have to do open surgery. And of course, you need to have a steady hand. And by having controls for master and slave nowadays, although you are having some fatigue, you have to rest. So the robot will know that this is not the actual movement that you intended to do. And we have also 3D visualization to make you understand and ease the operation during the day. The second one is on rehabilitation. I will touch some of the rehabilitation robots that we have. When some of the team from Cairo is currently working, we also have service robots and also companion robots. So one of the work that we did during the launching of 5G back in 2018 is I worked together with Ericsson. During that time, I was attached to Ericsson for a COE at faculty program. Okay, so my task was to do a master slave operation. So we have a UR arm, and this is the right hand side is another arm that we developed to them, and we pass this through Ericsson as one of the use case. So there are 3 advantages of 5G. One of it is high bandwidth. So if you are doing manipulations with and you need many data of video stream and also sensors input feedback and everything, so it will be consuming a lot of data. So if you have a big bandwidth, it's like highway. You have a very wide road of for you to travel, then it will be easier for big data to be passed through. So see, there are some delays still, but if you are using higher bandwidth 5G, then you're going to have less delay. So this is very important. For example, if you are going to do operation, the doctor will be in, I don't know, United States maybe. The patient will be in Johor Bahru. So the operation can be done seamlessly. So that is one of the direction. Now Da Vinci is still side by side, but in the future, I don't know, maybe they are one of the teleoperation robots that can be applied later. So we also did some of the demo last time, and this is not Da Vinci. This is just an integration UR arm and also some gripper to show how the navigation can be done. Okay, and then this is possible not only in the medical area. Medical, you have to get a very high accuracy, very high accuracy, maybe millimeter, centimeter. But then for normal operation of robots, then you can have less accurate. Okay, and if we look at the autonomous robot for hospital tasks and patient care, we can use it in logistics, patient assistance, and also in sterilization, especially during our experience in COVID-19 last time. So we have our friend Dr. Eileen's husband from DF developed a very well-known robots called Makcik Kia during that time, and Pak Saleh. So one of the robots that are being used not only to deliver food, but also to do sterilization. I think the sterilization robot is not here. And these are being used widely during the days where we are during, I mean, some of the difficulties days that we had earlier. And I also take some of the chance to collaborate with KKM during the time, not for the robot, but then we are doing it for a 3D based ventilator. So one of the things that we use. This is my PhD. I was working with a pneumatic cylinder, and we use this actuator to drive the ventilator. And for rehabilitation, Dr. Yong's team was also developing a robot that can be used to assist and also make it like a practicing tool for patient with hand problems. So it can do prospination, radial deviation, flexion and extension, and also some of the modular units. And if you see here, all are using our muscles, okay? Our intrinsic and also extrinsic muscles. And this is one of the area that I was working on when I was doing my postdoc. Where's the muscle again? Okay, that's what I think of. Okay, so this is quite difficult to be fabricated, but we do in-house fabrication earlier. Okay, and one of the way of developing the actuator is just like making cakes. So you have to pour inside your cupcake, then with some of the ingredients. So you want to put nuts, you want to put the cherry and so on. So then put in oven, and you can get one actuator. Okay, so if you want to have some experience developing actuator, you can visit V01 next to iHumEn, so you can find us. Thank you very much for hosting A2 Lab. All right, so this is one of the PhD work of my student. He will be presenting his viva 18th of December this month. And one of the work that we did is to increase the contraction ratio. So when we supply, for example, our muscles, we have a limitation of contraction. So for example, with the length of, for example, 10 cm, so it can only contract around 20%. So if you need a higher movement or displacement, then you need to have a longer actuator. So that is one of the problem statement that we have in developing and working with actuator. So here, some of the actuators, for example, single braided can have 27%, it can go up to 40%. And some of the students of mine are developing different kind of muscle arrangement. This is from the Japan team, and this is from our team. And it can be used for the exoskeleton function, where we can use pneumatic muscles to replace the high bulk actuators like motors. This is one of the work that we did for UVC last time, and Alhamdulillah we don't have to use UVC anymore at the moment, but we can make it ready in any of the case in the future. Okay, one of the other functions of the current trend in healthcare is wearable device and remote monitoring, or we call this as Internet of Medical Things. We know about IoT, Internet of Things, but then if you are wearing any Apple Watch or maybe some, so you have the sensors available attached to you. You can read your blood pressure, maybe your temperature, I don't know, your heart rate. So these are all possible with some of the wearable devices. Even we have glucose monitors, connected inhalers. For those who have asthma, then maybe when you inhale with your device, they can know the frequency of the inhalation that you have, even with wearable ECGs. And this can be helpful for the management team to do some assessment based on your condition. Even if I'm not mistaken, yesterday, Dr. Second, about the early intervention, real-time monitoring can allow for the early detection of health issues. I think very related to the chronic diseases. Thank you. And from here, we can see also the personalized care, where in the future, we want to empower patients to actively manage their health, if possible. Okay, the doctor yesterday mentioned the daytime spent in ICU for IGN is roughly around 7 days. So they want to reduce it to 4.4, if I'm not mistaken. They manage it to reduce to until 4.0. So, and hopefully all of us should be in a very healthy condition, inshallah. Right? So these are all equipment that can be used for monitoring, getting the data, so for us to be able to manage our health properly. Okay, one of the areas also, I think we have most of the experts here on using virtual reality, augmented reality, and also telehealth. I've been to China back in August this month. This is a robot that will be helping on inserting some of the tubes to your hand. But I didn't dare to put my hand there. just do some scanning. I did some scanning before, but then some of the, and then they show how the process of inserting, the analysis, the accuracy that they have, and so on. And before going to the market, I think some of the phases that we have to know, especially for medical products, there are trials after trials that need to be conducted, especially the invasive kind of development. So next we go for some of the maintenance that we can do with robotics and AI. One of the issues related to under or poor maintenance is sick building syndromes that can happen due to the poor maintenance of ducting, okay, and inside ducts, okay, because normally if you look at James Bond movie, all the ducting the James Bond crawl inside, all are clean, isn't it? It looks clean, okay, but in reality, you have a very dusty area. Even some are quite thick, right? So, and when the air conditioning push the air, cool air coming in from the AHU. So then you're going to inhale some of the, I don't know, some of the bacteria coming in, and that makes you cough. I'm not sure today I'm coughing because of some of this issue. But these are some of the problems that we have. Okay, and for our hospitals in Malaysia, it is being regulated by the Ministry of Health. For every CA, for every critical area, for example, critical area is in ICU, pathology, some of the labs. So they have to conduct at least once a year of inspection. So this is where we have our solutions coming in to provide some of the technology of robotics to do inspection and also to do rehabilitation. Rehabilitation here, not for the actual rehabilitation, but then to do cleaning, to give some disinfection spray and so on. Okay, supposedly we should have some sound. It's okay, it's okay. So what makes us different compared to the available robots? Ini promote sikit. Inspector by Avutech. So this is 100% local made. So we have these different modules on top of the robot that we can exchange easily. So just by lifting up the modules. So first we have the AI capacity. So now not only in the ducting, but we also use the robot for the other inspection. For example, underwater pipes, even some of the span piles and so on. So this will be expediting the process of doing reports. So normally for some of the buildings that we don't have the blueprint, so we need to have the design. So having the LiDAR, it will be helpful in doing the map, so that from the map that we have, we can record it for doing the plan. Okay, for PTZ, it is a pan, tilt, and zoom. So the camera can be used to have more details. So for example, you can zoom up to 30 times in some of the structure inspection. So laser profiler is one of the tasks required when we want to do inner diameter measurement. So then the integrity issues are related to the size. And the brush is where we can do cleaning, rehabilitation around some of the unwanted areas. Okay. So we see that nowadays AI and computer vision are quite popular, and Dr. Suhaini also mentioned yesterday where AI are currently used in some of the models. I think some of you are also presenting papers related to AI. And AI are algorithms that can simulate human-like intelligence. We can use it in doing diagnosing, treating diseases, improving patient care, and reducing healthcare costs. Some of the students of mine, they are looking on how using AI to do readings of diagnosis from X-ray reading. And normally we use computer vision. It's a subset of AI that can interpret and analyze visual information. So sometimes you want to detect different kind of nodules available around you, where sometimes you may neglect, depending on expertise of doctors. So, and doctor may transfer from knowledge base of experience and they can train human based on the experience that they have. And these are going to mimic the human vision. So from both of this, it will be helping, especially to streamline the administrative tasks. Okay, we have the generalist AI to help, but most importantly is to reduce the professionals' effort by asking them to focus on the tedious work. Then they can work on the focus on the patient care. And the clinical disease support to provide real-time insight, improve diagnosis, and also assisting healthcare, providing a more informed decision. So in our lab, so we are mainly focused on using AI with computer vision for other kind of application. For example, we do object tracking. We also have object counting. Okay, so here we have two rows. I don't know, some of you can count together in parallel the movement of cars to the left, cars to the right. Can you? Any one of you can count together. Okay, we do again. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, boleh kira sekali. Okay, these are the threshold. Okay, these are the threshold. So the car moving from right to left and left to right. So normally our capacity we can count in one movement. But if we have like many rows of roads, so AI can do this easily. Okay, which we have the limitation on doing that. Okay, so this is one of the way. So here left cars and 31, right cars 16 and 31. But you can notice there are some boundary box that are counting two cars together. So these are accuracy issues. So when you use AI, some of the limitation, we can go about the limitation later. If you have lack number, or I mean minimum number of data for training, so the accuracy will be impacted. Okay, so that's why we need to have the ground truthing and doing the accuracy testing and so on. We can also do object recognition. And what I'm showing you is some of the function of AI in computer vision, and this can be used to all areas, especially in healthcare. But a lot of data need to be collaborated together with hospital experts for them to supply. I think, and as what yesterday IGN was mentioning, if we have any collaboration together, they are free to be contacted for future collaboration in healthcare. Okay, another function, I think this was one of work that being done by our team, Dr. Zul. He was doing on asset management, so to make sure the integrity of the fences is still in contact, and walking for a certain distance just to check for your fence will be quite tedious. So having a drone flying and then detecting the integrity by having just a flight will be helping. Okay, so we have some demo to show you. Okay, one of the function of using drones and AI. So similarly, how we want to collect it with fences. Okay. So now we have a drone flying at your back. Surprise, eh? Okay, where are you? I don't know. Okay, what we can do now, we can use any of the available drones. Okay, and if you are a person, then it will be detecting you. If you're not a person, then maybe you are not going to be detected. Okay, so you have different kind of numbers here, 0.5, 0.6. The higher the number means you are actually a person. Okay, if you have like 0.3 here, so okay, then no, just joking. So the higher the number means the accuracy rate is higher. Okay, so but still it will be detecting you as a model. So what we can use with this function, we can do analysis. For example, for one hall, how many people? And we can ID each one of you. So maybe ID number 1, ID number 2, ID 100, and so on, so that it will not be double counted. Okay. So some of the models, we can also use it, for example, identifying a lying person in a hospital, suddenly fall down, so then we can use AI to do detection automatically. Okay? Okay, now we move back to our presentation. Okay. we have our drone expert, Dr. J. So maybe later we can do some drone racing after this. Okay, so when we talk about AI and robotics, there are a lot of challenges and opportunities. Okay, we can take it as challenge, but also the challenge can become our opportunity. One, the cost efficiency. So we want to balance the high upfront cost, okay, because doing different kind of testing will be incurring costs. But then along the way, it will also helping to reduce the actual operational savings. Secondly is on the regulatory hurdles. So we have this sandbox to help us sometimes to integrate and collaborate with different kind of expertise, especially to understand. Because when I started to do some of the healthcare related products, so sometimes we are shop sendiri. So we do things, but actually people in the hospital, they don't use it. So in the early days, we have to communicate, start to ask them what are the actual problem statement, so that we can come in with some of the experience that we have, together with the needs that they really want, so that we can match and provide the solution properly. And number three, workforce complexity, so that some of the working activity is not going to be interrupted. Okay? So any new development can seamlessly be interoperability together with solution that we are providing. And finally, on the ethical considerations, if we know from early days, there are some of the data that need to be keep private and so on. So I think this is one of the things that can be easing the process along the way. So AI in healthcare, especially on privacy and ethical concerns, we have data privacy, transparency, and accountability, algorithm bias. So I talk about algorithm bias because we don't want to have any bias. These are some of the issues. There are some research being founded that based on the work that they do, so they do some manipulation of data. So this is something which is unethical for us to follow through. And the future of human robotic collaboration, we can look on augmentation, more automation, and also symbiosis for human and robot to deliver good care. There is a study by Frost and Sullivan back in 2016. We are at this current decade. Okay, some of you are wearing Apple Watch. So these are medical platforms that we have. But for the next decade, more robotics, AR will be coming in. So where this is very important for us to grab, especially now we are working on it on the fundamental project of research. And AI and robotics can be working together with all these components, keeping well, early detection, diagnosis, decision-making, treatment, end of life care, and continuous research and training. So are we ready? Okay, some of the question being asked back in 2014, only the amount of budget is 600, 10 times improved in 2021. Okay, now we are 24 towards 25, maybe higher. And the percentage of respondents willing to engage with robots, okay, 54% willing, 38% is unwilling. But then the study is not covering Malaysian popularity, Malaysian populations, popularity, sorry. So it was conducted in Nigeria, in UK. So we can see the different nationalities who are willing to have incorporation of robotics and these are the age comparing. So the younger generations are more willing, okay, compared to the more senior citizens. This is some of the intelligent health assistants using our gadgets and so on. Okay, so the impact is to increase accessibility. We want to have personalized medicine. We don't want to go to clinic. They will provide you only Panadol, the same Panadol, 500 gram. So hopefully it will be more specific towards your actual needs. The personalized medicine, improve outcomes, especially maybe to give more service related to you. And this is some of the market survey conducted for Malaysia market back in from 2020 to 2027. So the amount of improvement for healthcare is quite high, for 22.4% of CAGR. Okay, so who are here in iHumEn Tech, you have very good future, okay, for doing things, hopefully impacting people in medical and healthcare. So before I go, these are some of the findings that we put through for the National Robotic Roadmap. So Malaysia will be focusing not only on the service sector, on healthcare and retail. We also focus on agriculture and manufacturing. But then in healthcare, so these are the amount mentioned. Healthcare sector is contributing around 24.1 billion in the value added. Okay, and areas that can be improved highlighted here. So maybe some of you are working in this area. More collaborations, more networking can be done. Especially this conference are co-organized between Malaysia and also Taiwan. And the 1010 MySTIE highlighting the medical healthcare on digital health, precision medicine, clinical trials for developing countries, part of the Malaysia direction towards the area of medical healthcare. And these are data that was presented in 2020. Normally it will be reviewed continuously. So I think this one is quite detailed, but some of it may be related. These are catch-up current technologies, and these are the leapfrogging technology, especially on research and application to connect with 5Gs and some of the AI and so on. Okay, just to highlight some of the trainings that we also provided in Cairo. These are some of the participants that we have earlier. And if you have interest, you can scan and we can be connected with some of the training activity together. Right? Suhail and Siraj are at the back there. All right. Okay, I think before we go, we have hopefully we continuously pray for Gaza. More than 1 year, they are suffering, and now temperature decreasing. Even now, we are quite shivering with less than 20 degrees here. But over there, maybe, I don't know, the condition with less food and big trials. These are part of the dua that we can make for the people in Palestine, Lebanon, and everywhere around. So thank you very much. Go techo, arigatou gozaimasu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Prof. Atif, for the inspiring sharing and sharing his experience over the years in robotics application, not only for medical healthcare as well as field robotics, right? So now we open the question to the floor. Any questions for our speaker? If not, I would like to ask about what do you, based on your experience developing robots for field robotics and then moving on to medical healthcare, right? What are the challenges in incorporating this in both sectors?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Eileen. I think I started to work more on the healthcare side before going for the field robotics before. One of my previous PhD students, she was working with finger rehabilitation. And we started off going to the private hospitals. We climbed up to KPJ hospital, trying to ask for rehabilitation doctors and partners. So initially it was quite challenging because to get to know people is one issue. And secondly, maybe they don't really know you and the area that you are working on. So then we started to move around, do collaboration first, do engagement. So I have a good contact with people from HRC, Hospital Rehabilitasi Ceras, and then we have the hospital HSA, HSI. I get to know those people who are in the rehabilitation sectors. So the engagement is very important before we come with our solution. So, and after we get the buy-in, then we start to listen and communicate. What are the problems? What are the issues? What are the need, critical phase 1, phase 2 that they really want? And from there, the problem comes in. And then we start to see how we can use the expertise that we have and match together with some of the solution and even some of the grants, they can help us to propose. So this is the short scenery style that we have to navigate along the way while working with hospitals. And I'm not doing more on the invasive kind of work. Invasive maybe have to go for more trials, more processes, but I'm more on the outer, more doing on rehabilitation and so on. And for field robotics, it's different. You still the same thing when you're talking to industry, consider hospital as industry. Any industry, you have to know them, get the buy-in, understand the problem and learn to listen. Yeah, I think the learn to listen thing is very important. Listen first, then we act. I think these are both of my experience working together with industry.
Thank you very much. So with the medical sectors, also the clinicians are typically very, very busy.
Busy, yes,
And
exactly.
then the users are very different because each individuals will be much more different, right?
Yes,
So
but then if you have the PIC, the doctor will help to arrange for you the people who will try with your device. So I developed, I think I didn't put it here, ankle AFO, the ankle foot orthosis. Also, normally we have the drop foot. For those who have a stroke, you normally walk a little bit keras. So how to make sure that your foot will be moving, the ankle joint will be moving. So you need to have some active actuators to help you to push, either using motor, pneumatic cylinders, or whatever. So some of the trials that we have, so the doctor from HRC, they help us to arrange the process and procedures. So this is one of the things that is very important in collaboration. And then we help our collaborators from university. Maybe you can contact him, contact this doctor, and the networking will be continuing.
So far, how do you find the ecosystem for robotics in Malaysia? And what do you propose we do in the next 5 or 10 years?
Ecosystem of robotics in Malaysia. I think based on the experience, I'm working with both the National Robotic Roadmap and also the AI Roadmap. So these are both initiatives that was done on the ministry level. So mostly is the key PIC for the initiative. So we started to see the people around. For example, people who are working in industries, people who are working with universities, to identify groups, centers, and how the research that are being conducted. So from there, when we know people around, so then we know what are the categories of people that need help and also assistance. So by having this information, it helps a lot. For example, we know when we develop solutions, we have to go for certification. So the problem with Sirim earlier, they don't have solutions coming from inside Malaysia. So I think DF is also having challenges when they want to start to do certification. So the same thing happened to me. So we are quite, uncertain what kind of standard that we have to use. So the current government is helping by providing some of the ecosystem, like a sandbox, so that you have your problem, there is a center that can regulate the information and they can assist you. So for healthcare, you have a sandbox in healthcare. Maybe you have some sandbox in AI and robotics, depending on solutions. And the engagement of us together with, for example, some of these platforms like Meranti, so will be very helpful. And I think for most of the researchers, we have to see how the research that we conduct in university can be used in the actual area. I think that's the ecosystem that will be coming up and better in the future, especially for Malaysia.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Hatif, for the very inspiring experience that he shared with the lineup of the product. This is actually really human-centered technology that he is promoting.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I have a question, or maybe you can share your journey a little bit on the commercializing your product, especially in the UTM ecosystem. Maybe during and after. I mean, when, or maybe you can say pre and post commercialization.
Pre and post. Okay, very short question, difficult to answer.
20 years journey.
20 years, okay. I think I started similarly like most of the researchers. And we have this TRL level of some of the research that we are conducting. So starting from ideation, come to fundamental, and then we do some initial testing. Back in 2014, we have many exhibitions in UTM, for example, Inatex and so on, that push us to see how the product that we have can be exhibit in events. Okay, so then we know In one of the year, normally we are going to bring in one product, two product. I brought out 6 products in one event. So then people say, oh, ni aktif lagi. But at that time, I didn't know one thing. We go for quantity, the number of product that we go, but the quality is not yet ready. We don't have the buyer. We don't have people who are going to use the thing. So maybe we have papers, maybe we have some initial work, but then in terms of how it can be used, how it can be utilized, so it is still not yet there. So then the strategy, I try to change the strategy. So as I mentioned just now, to engage with the user is one of the challenge thing, I think. So the pre-commercialization part is to know, identify who will be the paymaster. Even sometimes we don't know if we have a tool, who will be buying. Is it hospital? Is it sometimes if I develop a device, more normally not the patient will be paying, either the government or either NGOs, or so we have to identify who are the payer. So then from there, I think that's the strategy where we want to approach. So depending on different products, sometimes we started off with CSR, we provide the hospital with some of the gadgets or maybe tools that we have. So the next question is how to move forward. And I think that is where I joined some of the ICC programs provided in UTM, even together with some of the members here, and to start to see how, maybe we have to start from one products. Among the product that I started off is the inspection robot. Although I have some others, but then I started with that one. So I go out from the circle of the normal grants. Okay, normally we have the MOSTI grants, the KPT grant, but we go for the actual commercialization grant to pitch for the first 500,000. So after a few rounds of pitching, then we obtain, alhamdulillah. So the KPI is to spin off a company. So that's the urge that I need to move from the comfort zone to the uncomfortable zone. And the challenge is not easy. And I think we need to have a team. Having a team and support from the member, from the family, to go and pass through the journey. I was talking to Dr. Eileen just now, to make sure you have enough overhead every month is not easy. You have to pay many things. Okay, so the higher the number of the members, so you're going to have more commitment. Okay, but alhamdulillah, so we try our best and try to see how we can navigate. Sometimes we have to do training. Sometimes we have to do development, join hackathon, and so on. So that is part of the thing. But the goal is to secure and see what are the things that we can move on. So having a clear goals, direction is also important. So I think that's a little bit of the experience, and maybe we can have more discussion later.
Thank you so much, Prof. Atif, for sharing your experience to all of us here. If you have further questions, maybe you can look for Prof. Atif a bit later, maybe in 2 or 3 minutes, because I think they are also leaving for their Friday prayers. And without further ado, I think we need to conclude the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thank you to Prof. Atif for his sharing.
Thank you to Associate Professor Engineer Technologist Dr. Eileen Lee Min Soo for moderating the session. And now I would like to invite Professor Muhammad Shahrizal Sunnah, accompanied by Professor Dr. Chian Hui Lai, come to the stage to deliver the token of appreciation to the keynote speaker, Professor Engineer Dr. Ahmad Atif Muhammad Fauzi. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, with that, the keynote session for today come to an end. We will continue our next agenda with the parallel session. So before we begin, allow me to walk you through the parallel session that will start shortly. For parallel session 4, the session will be held at 11:30 a.m. And for parallel session 5, the session will be held at 2 p.m. While our iHumEn Tech 2024 closing and awards ceremony will commence at 4:30 p.m. in Senai Hall. So my great honor to invite all iHumEn Tech 2024 participants to join their respective parallel session. Your great support is highly appreciated. Thank you and see you at parallel session.